I'm going to be drawing and painting a picture of Hoppy, who's the main character of the book. This will be his head shape, and it's a triangle, but I've blunted it a little bit. And I've left room for his ears. He has those short little ears because he's a wild rabbit. The thing about rabbits that's hard to draw is their eyes are very high up on their head. And of course, a bunny has a big puffy little muzzle, a little bunny nose. And so I'm just going to indicate that by making a half moon shape there. It's so important whenever you're drawing something to pay the most attention when you're drawing the eye area, because that's where our expressions are. I think I'm going to make him looking expectant, like he's thinking what's going to come next. And maybe it's going to be the Easter Bunny. See, rabbits don't have eyebrows, but they do have like a little area above their eye where I'm bunching the fur, and I'm going to leave a little white sparkle in his eye, which will make him look a little bit more realistic. And now you can see how he's looking a little bit like, what's going to happen next? And then his whiskers are going to come out of these little dots. Here's his chest. And of course the female it's a little bit larger here because she will use that fur to line the nest when she has her babies. So that puffs out a little bit, even in the male rabbit. And then surprisingly, the legs are quite short in the front, and then it bulges out. And a cat has that same kind of back. Now he's going to be holding a basket, so I'll just draw that lightly in. And the reason I'm drawing it lightly in because I might show some flowers or something hanging over the top of it. Of course, the rabbit has huge, big back legs, because that's what they use to jump, and big, long feet. And even though you can't really see a rabbit's tail much, I'm going to use my artistic license and make it nice and puffy because it's so much fun to draw. How can I resist? And in his basket, we'll put a little hay coming out, and then we'll draw some eggs, and it'll be fun to draw all those designs. That's my favorite part. And then trying to make this look like a realistic basket. Now, if you didn't want to go to all the trouble, he could have a smooth basket too, or you could have a decorated basket. That's up to the artist. And now I'll get my watercolors ready. And he's kind of a grayish brown, so I never use black. I just use blue and brown mixed together. I think it looks more natural. I'll just go all around the bunny on the edge. Most bunnies have a little white place right there, right under their chin. Now, so I've got the shadowing done, or the shading, that would be another word to say it. And now I'm going to work on the basket. Anything that creates a shadow, I can create the illusion that it's round by putting a shadow underneath. And here's some eggs, same thing. I'm just going to go around the edges of them. Now I'm going to mix my color for his body. So there's some brown in there and there's some blue in there. So just using lots of big wide strokes. And if I were doing this for a finished page for the book, it would take an hour to do an inch. And I would take probably one of my really small brushes, and I would put in some of those fur-like textures. So there's a little bit of an indication of what the fur is going to look like. As the sun shines through a bunny's ears, they're quite thin. There's a really pretty pinkish color that you can see showing through. His nose is actually a different color pink. I'm going to use this light red here. Do his nose. And his eye. So actually an orange color is kind of what I use. And of course his basket, I'm going to use much more yellow in the brown now. And then what fun to do the eggs. I mean, you can't even imagine all the combinations. That's why I love to see children's drawings, because they come up with things that I never would have thought of. Like, wow, why didn't I think of that? And I'm always inspired. And now an artist always needs to sign their work. And I like to put the date on, so then you can 6 months later say, wow, I've really improved. If you think you would like to do some drawing and painting, you can go on my website, janbrett.com, and download some of these line drawings. And if you'd like to start out with those, you can download them for free and put your own colors in, which will be very fun. And then that'll be your first step, and your second step will be to draw the whole thing yourself.